Hello and welcome back to the KDL. Thank you so much for waiting. We just finished our team matches for the day, and now it's time for us to move on to the round of 16 winners match, where we are going to be sending 4 of these racers directly to the grand finals.
Yeah, and even if you are in the bottom for today, you're not eliminated. You still get to play in the round of 16 losers match. So it's not like as we could say tough on these players.
It's not do or die.
They have a second chance, but it would still be nice to make it in that top 4 early on.
Here we have a breakdown of solo match and how we got here, basically. We are at the middle portion of this, the round of 16 winners match. Top 4 of this move on to the finals. The bottom 4, as Peter was just saying, will advance to the round of 16 final match for one last chance to get that top 8 and contest for that first place prize of 10 million Korean won. And I gotta say, the winners match here in the round of 16, absolutely stacked from top to bottom. We have the reigning champion, the reigning second place is going to look right here. I mean, JiMin, DDING, Cool, World, Luning, Hero, Spear, NEAL. It doesn't get really a lot better than this.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're in the winners match. On the other hand, for the losers match, although it's a group of players who were in the bottom 4 last time, it's still really stacked.
Absolutely. I mean, Hojin stands out to me here, Hyunsu and Sungmin, as well as Jung, also very much standing out to me there in the losers match as racers who potentially, if they advance to that final match, might make it all the way to the grand finals, right?
Yeah. And as we take a look at the best records of the track, a lot of our new records have been set by Luning and Hero from Aura. You can see a lot of players from Aura having their player profile up on the screen.
Yeah, Aura with a lot of track records. In fact, I think Luning might have had, what, 3 or 4 of them? So really impressive stuff by him.
Absolutely.
Basically everybody that's getting ready to be introduced here on stage is going to be gunning for those top 4 positions to make it all the way to the grand finals. Particular Cool and NEAL, first place and second place in the previous season, would love to repeat, is now wearing the yellow stripes. It is JiMin who says that he dreamed of advancing straight to the finals, so it has been foreseen. In his mind's eye, JiMin says that he is going to make it all the way there. We'll see if that holds true, as he has been so clutch. I mean, a hybrid player that excels not just in team speed, but also in speed right now in solos.
Yeah, I mean, DDING, he's saying he's going to be showing the original merit, kind of showing that he has been playing that character for a while, feeling a lot of pride in that department. And DDING, as a player, he has a lot of spotlight on him right now in KDL, and he deserves it.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about Jong as being the ace of rocks, but DDING has been so good there at the top ranks. Leading team speed average ranking overall so far in KDL preseason is Cool. The reigning champ, Kwangdong Freaks, so good. Fantastic racer here. And the red stripes, I think one of the favorites easily to advance out of this group directly into the grand finals, as is this guy right here. I mean, World, his teammate, says he's going to be sure to make it to the finals. Would not be surprised, Peter.
Yeah, the only problem with World is that when it comes to the solo matches, he's been struggling with consistency. So a lot of the times, he'll fall into the bottom 4 ranks during the races more often than needed. So hopefully he's able to not have that problem today. But for Luning, he really wants to advance to that finals spot.
And he's first overall right now in podium percentage. In fact, 70.5%. And second overall in average points too, as Luning has just been so consistent from start to finish here in the KDL solo matches. He just racks up point after point after point. Never really seems like he's faltering in any of these groups.
May the blessing of the green guide me straight to the finals. It feels a bit poetic there, and I feel like Hero as a player definitely has the potential to make it there because he's so good at speed.
Absolutely. He's been a critical part of Team Aura's success so far in the team matches. A big part of why they're still contesting for a playoff spot right now, including his performance today in team speed. As we look at Spear, wondering how it would feel to make it straight to the finals.
It must feel good, dreamlike.
Absolutely, and you know, maybe he will be able to get a chance to figure that out, as this guy right here, no stranger to top performances, whether it be in the original kart rider or here in the KDL. Second place in the solo match previously. Of course, second place also in team matches on Lib Sandbox is NEAL. Stands alone among the global players of kart rider drift.
Yeah, NEAL putting a lot of emphasis on stability coming into the solo matches of Preseason 2, rather than going for a lot of the flashy NEAL builds that we've seen time and time again, because they do come with risks.
Absolutely they do, but he has just been so solid, so consistent. Feels like every single time that we see him racing, he is up there gunning for top 4, top 5 at the minimum. As Peter, I think we're getting ready to get started in the round of 16 winners match. We're going to move to round number 1, WKC Brazil Circuit. Of course, here in the round of 16 winners, it is a race to 50 points. Each position that you get increases your odds, increases the total number of points that you get over the course of this. Once one of these racers reaches 50 points in total, the standings will be drawn. Top 4 moving on to the grand finals, bottom 4 falling to the final qualifying match for that grand finals. And so far right now, Peter, World and Luning off to a tremendous start here on the Brazilian circuit.
Absolutely, they are holding the biggest lead by far in the group, unrelentless with their lines. However, DDING, he's also been seeming to have a lot of boost gauge in his pocket, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see him catch up real soon. Right now, Hero trying to play the body game with World, going for the inner line, but he wasn't able to surpass.
No, not able to surpass, but still holding on to 3rd place is a nice spot to be in, especially on a track like Brazil Circuit, where there is so much danger coming through these turns, especially with these tires on the grass, where you might clip a wall, you might clip, one of your opposing racers that lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah, that's absolutely been happening here so far in the Brazil circuit, but Luning, he's running away right now with his lead. World falling behind due to all the players colliding with him so far. Now it's Cool gunning for that 2nd spot.
Yeah, Cool right now firmly in 2nd place. We'll see if he tries to pass Luning. Actually, nice body blocking there by Luning on the grass as he does not let World pass him until now. We just continuously change hands up here in the top 2. It is so tight. I mean, I feel like every single time I look at the standings, these players are changing hands here. And lap number 2 is finally on this straightaway. It's starting to spread out a little bit. Luning right now in 1st place. World, Hero, and Cool right behind him. World going for that really tight inner, but Luning with a body block.
Yeah, Luning came directly into the line of World there, still maintaining that 1st place, but now World looking for a body block onto Luning, making him fall behind significantly. Now it's Hero, Cool, and JiMin in the lead.
Yeah, Cool's gunning for that 1st place spot. Luning falling all the way down into 7th place, and Cool and Hero will secure the top 2 positions. And I was worried there for Luning, as once he got that nice body block off, he didn't really have anything left in the nitrous gauge. And then some unfortunate collisions for him in the final turn here on Brazil Circuit has Luning losing a ton of momentum. And despite leading the pack for the majority of the race, it felt like, falling all the way down into 7th place. But a podium, Cool in 1st, Hero in 2nd, Spear in 3rd.
I must say, Cool scares me when he's in solo match, because he always finds a way to make it into that 1st place, and he even sets a new record here. For the most part, our eyes were on Luning and World, but at the end there, it's Cool and Hero who's able to flip it around. Luning actually coming in 7th.
Yeah, Cool just waited for the perfect time to strike, and I mean, this is why this guy is so successful here in solo matches. It's also why he's successful in team matches. He's just all around a fantastic racer. Is now, after winning track number 1, he will get to choose track number 2 as we're waiting to see what that selection will be. And, for the reigning champ, already getting closer and closer to another ticket to that grand finals as the selections coming through. We're getting ready to go to round number 2 here in the round of 16 winners match on Village Boom Hill Tunnel.
Off we go into round 2 of our round of 16 winners match. Now it's Spear and World and Cool in the lead. These players constantly being up there.
Cool, the lone racer to take the left side on this one, was able to build a lot of nitrous gauge. Unfortunately, I thought he was going to be able to work his way up into 1st place as a result of that, but instead right now sitting in 4th is once again very tight pack here. You can see how competitive this lobby is. No one really pulling ahead, and actually, Cooling. Not getting the best trades there. So if he wants to work his way back into 1st place, it's going to be a gauntlet for him. Instead, right now, all eyes on World, DDING, and Hero battling it out for the top 3, and Luning also right behind them, looking to redeem himself from an unfortunate track number 1. And wow, that inner line by Hero.
Yeah, Hero's building a significant lead for himself, but he takes a big collision into the wall. Fortunately, Hero, he's not thrown off too behind, but Ding, he's going to capitalize off that and now come in first.
Yeah, Ding now leading the charge here. Of course, first overall as well, as we have 3 players, Ding, JiMin, and World, going for the more dangerous build, getting up on that high ground, eliminating the amount of track they have to cover a little bit. Wow,
Hero.
Huge collision there. A lot of players losing a ton of momentum. Hero, World, and Spear all falling back. Cool also clipping the boxes there a little bit, is now it's Ding, NEAL, and JiMin. It's all going to come down to this. NEAL with one more nitrous. Will he be able to pass? He's trying to do it, but no, Ding a little bit too solid there. NEAL not able to get the draft and come through with the nitrous gauge as Ding picks up his first track win. That's 10 points in the bag of Ding, and NEAL, second place finisher from KDL Preseason 1 in solos, getting on the board with a really nice performance here in track number 2.
Yeah, NEAL, he was really pressuring Ding there for that first spot, but he was finishing second in the end. But it's really big for him because in the previous race, NEAL finished dead last. So he was -1 in the standings, but now he's picked up 7 points for himself. And now this is going to put him in the top 5.
Yeah, that's a solid performance. Only 1 point shy of the cutoff right now, as Hero sitting at 7. NEAL at 6. Again, keep in mind, it is a race to 50 here. Once our first racer reaches 50 points, the standings are then locked. We look at the top 4, and those 4 players advance to the grand finals. The bottom 4 fall to one last final match, one last chance to qualify it. So a lot on the line for everybody.
Yeah, but one good news for the players of this race who are not Cool is that Cool is not winning consecutively. So now we're ready to move on into Ding's choice of track. It is going to be Mine 3 shortcuts.
And off we go on Mine 3 shortcuts here as Spear off to a fantastic start, already in first place. Can be a difficult track to make passes happen, also a very precarious one. Would not be surprised if we saw some collisions here.
Yeah, right now it seems like NEAL and Ding kind of in the middle spot. Spear and JiMin are the ones really fighting right now for that top 1 spot. Luning, he's following close behind, and I'm sure he'll be able to catch up with these drifts.
Yeah, Luning's been looking so good despite having a poor performance at the very finish line of track number 1. He has been near the top 3, I feel like, every single track for the majority of each track, and once again contesting these top 3 spots, but it's so tight between Spear, JiMin, and Luning. Luning, as of yet, unable to find an angle really to pass. He's going to go for a really wide one, and that will actually be able to allow him to pass JiMin. So the item specialist here, hybrid player, 4Live Sandbox following down in 3rd place, and Spear just holding on to first.
Yeah, Spear, he's been absolutely keeping his eyes on that first spot the whole race, and now he finally has it in his pocket. We have NEAL coming up 4th, but he's going to be fighting it out with JiMin. These top 3 are really consolidated in a world of their own.
Yeah, there really hasn't been much upheaval so far on this track, as no one's been able to make a play, but NEAL is going for one. Luning with a little bit of a body block there, does deny the inner from NEAL, and once again, denies it. I mean, the body blocking is just superb from these top 3. There's a reason why they haven't been unseated from these positions.
Yeah, NEAL was finding some space to try to put some pressure on Luning, but now he's going to fall behind. He's just fighting it with JiMin. Now Spear still holding on to that first place really nicely. Ding, he's got to find the line that's able to surpass Spear.
Yeah, but he's not able to do it. And Spear, who from the very beginning was in first place, didn't give it up for a single moment. All the way through the end of lap number 3, Spear is going to beat your first place finisher here on track 3. As we're rounded out with Ding and Luning right behind him. But man, what a performance from Spear on one of the more difficult tracks that we have here in speed mode.
Yeah, and the great news for Ding is that coming in 2nd place off of last first place is putting him at 18 points. So he's already going to be really solid in maintaining that top 4 in the overall standings. And of course now Spear off that win, he's going to be in 2nd place.
Spear also beating Luning's record on that map. In fact, I think it was almost, what, 0.7 seconds ahead of the second place finishing, who was the racer there? I can't recall, but whoever Spear beat, man, he beat him by a large margin. That was a fantastic race by him, as now he will get to choose the next track. As I'm curious what it's going to be. Spear, one of the most technically proficient and mechanically skilled racers that we have here in this lobby. Would not be surprised to see him choose one of the more difficult tracks. And yeah, There the selection comes in. We're going to be moving to Forest Zigzag Timberland for the next track as Spear looks to add on to this lead.
The current best record here is being held by Luning in Zigzag Timberland, but Luning is down in 8th place, so it's Ding and Cool and Spear trying to keep up their momentum.
Yeah, but I would not be surprised to see Luning quickly close the distance, as especially in solo speed, there are so many micro collisions that often happen here in the top ranks, especially in these very tight turns that can cause problems and can allow a player like Luning to actually close the gap. But once again, Spear on his track selection off to a great start. He has been getting the ball rolling these past couple of tracks.
Absolutely, Spear, he's winning the body check so far, actually tackling JiMin into the wall as well, then coming back into first place. He's been having some phenomenal lines here. Now Luning coming in, trying to apply some pressure.
Wow, Luning all the way from the back ranks, able to work his way into second place and building a ton of nitro gauge while he's at it, just right behind Spear and JiMin as he's going to try and find this inner line. Now, it is so tight packed here. Very dangerous situation for a lot of these racers as you see a lot of small collisions in the back ranks happening as a result of this. It's just so congested.
Yep, right now JiMin is back in first spot. He was able to win the checks against Spear, and mostly it's right now Hero trying to catch up to the 3, but Spear, JiMin, and Luning are in a world of their own.
Yeah, once again, I feel like these guys just continue to race, among the best of them. Every single track they are contesting top 3 as JiMin is able to unseat his opponents their first place just for a moment, but we're just continuously changing hands, and now Hero with this inner line is trying to get past Luning. Will he be able to do it? As the body blocking from Luning has been superb so far today, but Hero with that tight inner, once again, able to do it.
Yeah, Hero right now leading the pack, but Spear comes in with a phenomenal line of his own, now trying to tackle Luning into the wall. As we see Spear, he's got the best position to try to block the opponent's lines.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just so many bodies behind him that it's kind of a game of attrition here. So Spear, he falls back down to 3rd place and then is able to redeem himself, retake that first, and now Tim and Ding battling for rank 1 and rank 2, and Luning right behind him, man. It's so close here in the final lap.
All of a sudden, it's Ding in first place right now. Hero looking for the inners there. He's going to be able to collide and try to put Luning behind, but no, it's Ding trying to run away.
Disastrous collision there for Luning, takes him out of contention here in the top race as Ding and Spear now head-to-head. Spear with a draft, not able to get enough speed to pass Ding, who even with a nitrous in the bag is able to finish in first place. Compounding that lead, man. He was in first place overall coming into this one at 18 points, and now adding 10 more to his total with that victory on Zigzag Timberland.
Ding is the only player right now of our group round of 16 winners match that has 2 wins already in the bag. So as you said, State, he's going to be at 28 points overall, which is getting really scary because he's now only 22 points away. It seems like Ding is playing the role of Cool that we've seen in Preseason 1.
And poor Luning, I mean, this track here on Zigzag Timberland reminds me of how we started on the first track where Luning, in that game too, I think it was on Brazil circuit if I'm not mistaken, was so close to finishing, if not first, then certainly in the top 3, and then one of those final turns had some bad collisions, fell all the way to the back ranks. I think he finished in 7th. And now here on Zigzag Timberlands, the same story. The whole time he's contesting top 3, and then once again a bad collision on the final bend. He falls all the way down to 8th place, so now Luning in a bit of a precarious spot overall in the standings, as although he's racing well, through the majority of these tracks, he has not been able to close.
Yeah, it's absolutely been tough on the players in the solo matches when your game has to be about consistency. You can't fall behind even if you get first place previously, but now we are moving on into round 5, chosen by Ding. It will be Mine Rickety Rails. Ding looking to get potentially his 3rd win of the day here in the solos. Right now we're seeing Spear. He's doing what he's always doing. In the beginning, he has a nice lead.
Yeah, it's almost phenomenal how consistently he's been able to come through in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place at the start of every single track. I'm not exactly sure, what techs he's doing at the beginning to make these leads happen, but it just seems like every single race he is contesting, and right now up there with World, NEAL, and Spear.
Yep, right now Luning also trying to catch up as well. As you said, Stay Luning, he's always gunning for the top spots, but tries to go for it too much near the end, falling down all the way into the back rankings. But right now, he's holding on.
Yeah, able to work his way into first place, in fact. So we'll see if he can hold on to that, as if he can just continue to be a little bit more consistent, especially towards the end. Wow, NEAL with a massive collision there. Was able to work his way into first place for a moment.
Oh, and NEAL once again is going to get crashed into the wall. He's flying off like a ping pong.
Yeah, just kind of ricocheting off the walls here as we enter the lap number 3. About 30 seconds left to go on this one. Hero now still in first place. Luning actually able to take that from him. So Luning's back in first. And man, I got to say, Luning overall today, the points, he only has 8 on the board. He's in bottom overall in the standings, but he has been one of the top racers.
JiMin.
Oh, JiMin with a bad collision there. Falls off the track, so he will be almost a lock for 8th place. But Luning, if he can just maintain this, 500 meters left to go. He has been struggling to finish so far today.
It's Hero and Spear right now trying to get that 1-2. Luning, he's denied that through the body blocks, and it's Hero who comes in first. And JiMin, as you can see off that collision, he wasn't able to recover, and he's going to come in dead last.
Yeah, dead last there for JiMin, so a little bit of a painful race for him, but I'm happy to see Luning get his fair share here. You know, it feels like every single race, especially the first one on the previous track, he was just racing out of his mind. Top 3 position, whole way through, and then right at the end, hit those speed bumps, collide with a racer, collide with a wall, lose momentum, but here he gets a podium finish. Some much needed points for Luning, who has been playing very well so far, and look at how close it is in this lobby. I mean, DDING and Spear kind of running away with it in positions 1 and 2, but separating Hero in 3rd and JiMin in 6th, only 6 points.
Yeah, JiMin, he was actually sitting in 3rd place overall before this track happened. So getting that 8th place really set him back, as you said, State, now being tied in that 6th place, which is basically 8th place right now in the standings. So our players are really fighting for that 3 and 4 spot.
Yeah, it's a very balanced lobby here. One of the most balanced lobbies that we've seen in the KDL solos. Is we're going to see if that continues to hold up. Getting ready to move into the next track. It is going to be World Tour Rio de Janeiro. Here we come out of the airplane. DDING and Spear right now in 1st and 2nd place with 29 and 28 points apiece, all but well on their way.
Oh my!
To that postseason.
He takes a bad line there. He takes a big collision and he falls behind. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to recover from that. Our top 6 players are running away. You can see Cool. He's being showcased on the right. He's really far back.
Yeah, I mean, the picture-in-picture really tells the tale. He is far off from rejoining the group, but whenever we have lobbies like this that are so tightly skilled, we often have collisions that just slows down everybody. So maybe one of those will be the opportunity for Cool to close the distance and start to work his way up the ranks here. And for a lot of these racers, they're going to be feeling quite good that Spear and DDING aren't having quite as powerful a performance as they have so far. I mean, 29 and 28 points apiece. If anyone's going to be ending this race in a couple of tracks, it's going to be these guys, right? So for everybody right now sitting in the lower ranks, you want this one to go as long as you can. You really want DDING and Spear to fall back down.
Right now, it's Luning finally getting a nice opportunity for himself, fighting for that first spot with Hero and JiMin. As Luning, he's keeping the tighter lines, but it's DDING who comes in first. Yeah,
once again, it seemed like Luning might have clipped the corner just a little bit there on that wall, and although it is a top 4 position, time feels like it's running out for Luning, with DDING securing another first place finish. I think his 3rd so far today, as he's at 39 points now in total. And guys, keep in mind, again, 50 points is the decider here. 50 points is the cutoff where the standings are locked and we determine who advances to the grand finals and who will fall to the final match to try and qualify with one last chance for that top 4. And it is so close right now. Hero and JiMin at 20 points apiece. World right behind them at 19. Luning at 17. And NEAL 2nd place. Yeah, 2nd place from the previous season. 2nd to last. And Cool as well. All the way down in 8th. It's surprising. I mean, we have the top 2 from the previous season right now at the bottom of this lobby.
It's not what we expected coming into this state, but it's no surprise given how evenly matched our players were in the races. So far, only DDING and Spear being the clear standouts of the group. The fight for 3 and 4 drags on as we get ready to enter round number 7 in World Tour New York Rally. We are now here in round 7 of round of 16 winners match. World, he's trying to maintain that first place, but DDING, you got to keep in mind, he picked this track. We're likely expecting him to go for a race to the first spot.
Yeah, and for a lot of these racers, there might only be 2 tracks left because DDING right now is sitting at 39. With the way he's been racing so far today is so close to closing this one out. And for NEAL, a fan favorite of a lot of global fans and a lot of fans even here in Korea, and having a good performance in this track, right now sitting at 2nd place, would go a long way towards him booking his ticket to the grand finals.
In fact, he's going to turn that 2nd place into a 1st place. Now, he just needs to win the lines against Hero and Luning as the players. They're all coming up like a pack of hyenas, applying pressure onto the lines, trying to take whatever advantage they can, but Cool, once again, huge collision.
Yeah, Cool with back-to-back tracks, some big missteps there as he falls all the way down to the 8th place. Now all eyes on NEAL to try and hold on to this 1st place position here against both Hero and Luning, and it might just be a little bit too much body blocking, although he is able to section off both players quite well coming into one of these final turns.
Yeah, right now it's pretty much a game between JiMin, Luning, and
JiMin.
NEAL for that top 3, but JiMin right now won that battle. He's holding on to 1st place, and he just needs to keep the tighter lines here.
Yeah, NEAL falls all the way down in 5th place. He's going to go for that tight inner to try to work his way back up, and he is in 4th now, but with time running out here on this track, only 500 meters left to go. Will NEAL actually be able to come in on the outside? He won't be able to get 1st place, but he will be able to get a top... Oh, he got top 5. I thought that was a top 3 for sure. JiMin gets 1st, Luning with 2nd, World with 3rd. As I didn't realize how close the pack was right there behind NEAL, I thought for sure on that straightaway he was going to be able to book a podium finish, but instead all the way falling down to 5th place as we have a bit of a shakeup here. A lot of these high point earners from so far today not really manifesting a lot more. I mean, Spear in 6th place, DDING in 7th. That's going to be a sigh of relief coming out of a lot of these racers lower in the standings, because now that gives them a little bit more runway to start to close the distance.
As we see 3 players tied for 4th spot right now, Luning, Hero, and World.
Wow.
Absolutely not giving up on the slightest lead, but we do have NEAL and Cool. They are pretty far behind now, and it seems like it will be really difficult for them to try to make it top 4.
Yeah, Cool's had a shaky performance the past couple of tracks, and also NEAL. I mean, it's so hard to read this guy. He's usually so reserved with his facial expressions, but I think you can kind of feel that he's not performing up to the standard that he has for himself right now. I mean, this is a guy that has been world champion multiple times. I mean, he's won global events. He's won events in Korea. He would love to just book his ticket to the grand finals and not have to go through the final match yet again. As we head on to the next track, it's going to be Glacier Extreme Stadium. Off we go on the frosted slopes of Glacier Extreme Stadium. Hero and Luning off to a great start right now in this one. And all eyes on the mid-ranked players.
Right now we're seeing NEAL all the way in the bottom. Once again with Cool, if they try to catch up here, it needs to start because they are really far behind points overall. Whereas Luning, Hero, and DDING, they're trying to build on their lead, especially DDING, who is leading the group so far.
Feels like Cool or NEAL, if they want to start to come back in this one, they're going to have to get at least a top 2 finish here and ideally win this track, because who knows how many races we have left here with so many players getting closer and closer to that 50-point mark. Now coming into the first hairpin turns here on lap number 1, Hero, Spear, and Luning leading the charge. Let's see if Spear tries to take a tight inner to unseat Hero from that first place position, and seems like he's trying to find it. Actually is able to get that first place spot here as Cool now is right behind him.
Yeah, Cool and Spear, they're able to bully Luning back along with Hero here. It's really important to keep your eyes on Luning, Hero, and World because those three players are fighting for that 3 and 4 spot right now. But so far, it's Luning having the biggest lead.
Yeah, Luning right now is sitting in top 3. He's going to be really happy with this one. He's been racing so well today, except for a couple of hiccups, especially later on in the tracks. Now it's a 1v1 between Spear and Cool for now for first place position. Spear, of course, second place overall in points, so close to just securing that ticket to the grand finals. Another top 3-year podium finish here for Spear would all but assure that he's going to be heading out of this group in the top 4. As coming into these hairpin turns, Peter, let's see if Cool is able to maintain this lead. Now, Luning is also getting in on the fray. Is Cool able to hold on to it through every single turn? I mean, this might be his ticket back into contention here for the top 4 if he's able to hold it on this straightaway. And yes, Cool with a first place finish here, coming up from 11 points to 21. I mean, he was in 8th place starting this one. He's going to get closer and closer to top 4, and now with that victory, especially since he finally gets to choose his own track.
Yeah, Cool absolutely closes the gap right there. NEAL not as much because he couldn't get the podium finish, and you have to wonder at this point, with Luning coming in 3rd place, absolutely he's going to be up in the positions now. Pretty comfortable, I would say, in either 2 or 3. The 4th spot, however, how do you contest with Luning? He's in 29 points right now. Hero and World, they were trying to stay consistent with it, but they're now behind 4 points and 6.
Yeah, it's very close. I feel like Hero probably has the best chance of unseating Luning, only 4 points behind him right now. But keep in mind, Peter, this might be the final track of the day, the final track of this group, because we have 2 players that are in striking distance of absolutely closing this one out right now.
Yeah, this is going really crazy, State. Cool, he's won 2 tracks, but he's not leading the group at all. You can see that consistency is really wearing down on our players today, but it's only getting harder and harder as we enter the 9th round of the day in Desert Ancient Aqueducts. We have Luning holding the best record here in the Ancient Aqueduct, and he's showing why by staying in 1st place.
He's off to a stellar start, one of the better starts we've seen so far here in this solo match, as that's a large distance between him, DDING, Cool, and World. And guys, keep in mind that DDING and Spear right now, if DDING gets even a top 2, he will have the 50 points necessary to close this one out and send us to the grand finals. Spear needing a 1st place to do that, but DDING really all eyes on him, sitting in 3rd place.
Yeah, DDING, he's really trying to catch up, but Cool, going for that 2nd place is going to be huge as well because Cool is really trying to catch up now. He's got his A game on. You can look at him being able to surpass Luning there. A player like Cool is one of the few who can pull that off.
Yeah, Cool. You can almost feel that he's a little bit angry here after that dismal performance on a couple of tracks. Now he's coming out swinging, you know, winning one track, coming through, trying to win another one right here is Cool, as after lap number 1, he is still in 1st place, and he's trying to work his way all the way back from rank 8 earlier in the standings. Now, 1 win here might get him in striking distance of a top 4. I mean, the reigning champ has so much fight left in him.
NEAL, he's coming in right now. Unfortunately, he loses the line against Cool and Luning. Now he's going to fall back. Once again, trying to come in for a top spot. 2nd place for NEAL, Cool in 1st place right now.
Yeah, DDING also dangerously close to closing this one out. Keep in mind, 2nd place for him will be the 7 points needed to reach 50 and send us home. He is so close right now in 3rd place as NEAL and Cool continue to go head-to-head in this 1v1. Cool in 1st place for now. DDING on the inner line, able to work his way into 2nd.
This is crazy. If DDING can maintain that 2nd place, that's exactly what he wants. But now we're seeing Cool once again applying pressure once again. DDING is going to fall back.
Yeah, DDING falls back into 4th place, and now it's between Cool and NEAL for 1st as we come into these final turns. 70 meters left to go, and Cool able to pick up another win here. DDING at 3rd, just shy of the 50 points needed to close this one out. So we will have at least 1 more track here, and Cool adding in 10 more points. Suddenly, Peter, he's gone from the crypt down in 8th place to being in contention for top 4 and booking his ticket to the grand finals, wanting a back-to-back championship.
The only way you can pull that off is to constantly get 1st place, and that's exactly what Cool is doing right now in the latter portion of the race. Exactly, just 1 point away from 4th spot now. Hero and Luning are feeling sweaty here. Even Luning in 3rd place is only 2 points away from Cool.
Yeah, even Luning is in danger right now. It's just been so close these past couple of races. Someone between Luning and Cool, I mean, you got to think that something's got to give here with how well these have both been playing throughout this entire day, as we're going to be heading to yet another track in one of the longest solo groups that we've had to 50 points. It feels like we're racing to 75 or to 100 with how diverse the set of winners has been, but this very well might be the last one. Desert Construction Chaos might tell the tale here for the winners match of the round of 16. Let's go to round 10. Off we go on what once again might be the final track of solo speed tonight. Ding in first place, sitting at 48 points. Only needs a middling position to get that top 50 and close this one out. And with so many racers right now hovering around 30 points, every position matters.
Yeah, if Ding gets 5th place or higher, he's going to be able to close off the race, whereas Spear, he needs to get 1st place to close it off. Right now we have World and NEAL in the top positions. Cool, he's down in 6th place.
Yeah, World desperately holding on that 1st place, fighting for dear life right now to try to hold on to this one, as 10 points in the bag would go so far for him. Sitting right now only at 7th place with 24 points. And if he can work his way up to 34, that might be barely enough for him to make it to the final match. As we're just continuing to race on here, coming through the upper portion. World so far, as of yet, uncontested, but Ding solidly in top 3.
Yeah, and I like that all the players slowed down there, putting a lot of respect on the chaotic part of this construction track. Now, World, he's running off with that 1st place here. Ding, we were talking about if he finishes 5th or higher, this is the last track, and he's maintaining 2nd/3rd.
Yeah, it's so close right now, and Ding, I mean, he's just going to play his conservative game right here. I wouldn't be surprised if he took some extremely dangerous lines. I think he's just going to play for the top 4 or the top 5 and go with it, as he's continuing to, remain with the pack here, even contesting top 3 as he's right behind JiMin. Now, World still uncontested there in 1st place, but this story, a lot of it comes down to where people stand in the middle rankings right now. Hero in 5th place, Luning in 6th, Cool in 7th. These are positions that have bearing on who is going to book their ticket first to the grand final.
Yeah, Hero, Luning, Cool are kind of like our main characters right now in the sense of wanting to be in that top 4, but all of them are so far behind. It's Ding, who's able to stay consistent, but now he's going to fall behind into 5th place.
He's actually all the way down to the 7th there for a moment as he fights his way back into 5th. And keep in mind, if he doesn't get that top 5, we will go to at least one more track unless Spear is able to win it. But it looks like World and NEAL are going to be having their little 1v1 here. Actually, NEAL and JiMin. It's a 1v1 for position 2 as World runs away with this one in 1st place. But Ding finishing in 4th means that this will be the final track. And I got to say, normally, I'm pretty good at doing the calculations on the fly and telling who's going to advance, but it is so close right now, Peter. I mean, coming into this, Luning at 33, Hero at 32, Cool at 31, JiMin at 29. So close. I don't know who's going to advance. I think we have to wait and see the standings.
Yeah, I'm trying to calculate that right now.
I see you right now. You got your little abacus out. You're doing all the quick maths. As World sets another record here. And okay, here we go. Wow. By 1 point, World and JiMin pulling ahead of Hero by 2 points against Luning, 1 point against Cool, and 3 points against NEAL, or 4 points against NEAL, excuse me. So close, but Ding, Spear, World, and JiMin are going to be your top 4 advancing to the grand finals first.
It would have been so crazy if Hero had 1 more point there, because we would have had 3 players tied for 3, 4, 5.
That would have been absolutely insane. I mean, this was one of the most stacked lobbies we've ever had in a round of 16, and you could really see it. The difference between qualifying in top 4 and getting knocked out from 3rd to 8th place. 34 points for World and JiMin, 30 points for NEAL. It was so close. Every race mattered. This one went the distance, and it absolutely delivered on the hype. And Peter, I gotta say, if this is a preview of what the solo match finals are gonna be like this KDL Preseason 2, I cannot wait. I mean, this was intense from start to finish. One of the most hyped solo matches that we have had here in the KDL. So exciting.
And our 2 solo finalists from Preseason 1, Cool and NEAL, they're going to finish 7th and 8th, last in the group. No one could have expected that coming into this, but don't be worried, guys. Our bottom 4 players are not knocked out just yet. They still have another chance in the round of 16 losers match.
Absolutely. So I think tomorrow, the way the schedule is going to go is we have the losers match, and the top 4 of the losers match tomorrow will advance to the final match to battle with Hero, Luning, Cool, and NEAL. And that group will decide, much like this one, which 4 players are going to the grand finals, which 4 players are out of the tournament.
Right, so we do have a separate losers match that's going to determine the top 4. They're going to fight with the bottom 4 of the winners match. That's how the format is going to go. And you have to give so much credit to DDING, because I feel like DDING hasn't shined as much in the original Kart Rider League, but ever since he came over to Kart Rider Drift, especially in the solos, he's been able to finish first more often than not.
Not even in the solos, also in the team. Keep in mind that DDING is the #1 ranked player in team speed by average rank. He's also first place, 52 points to 40 points here, and the round of 16 winner match. DDING has been racing out of his mind this season. He's a critical reason why R.O.16 Esports is undefeated to this point so far with a 5-0 record. He has been so good. And, you know, coming into this one, just to talk about ROX, I mean, we were all thinking that Jung is going to be the story for them. But DDING, this new addition, has stepped up so hard. You see it in the team matches week after week, match after match. You see it here in the solos, absolutely delivering. Oh, man, the solo match finals are going to be so hype.
Yeah, and I also want to give a shout out to Spear here, because I feel like we all remember Spear as a sweeper, not only because of his name, but because of his playstyle, where he's often sacrificing his own line in order to put more trouble for his opponents. But when it comes to the solos, he just focused on his own path, and you can see him really shine when he does that.
It's been a fantastic day of KDL so far, Peter. Absolute treat to cast this one with you, as we're going to recap the day really quickly and look at exactly how these matches played out over the course of this Saturday, with Seraphic picking up their first not only speed win or win overall in the KDL, but their first round wins in speed, as for a rookie team that has been showing a lot of potential from the very beginning of KDL Preseason 2, this is kind of a feel-good story. You gotta be happy about Seraphic coming through. This means that every single team competing here in the KDL Preseason 2 in the round-robin format will at least pick up 1 win. And although it's a little painful here for Showtime, I mean, Seraphic, you could see the happiness on their face when they finally came through with that W.
Yeah, Seraphic definitely ended off on a high here. It's not their last match exactly, but at least they have 1 win in their bag now. And then for our next match of the day, it was Potential versus Aura. And when we saw the speed match happen, it felt like Aura was just going to win everything. They were 3-0 in speed. And then going into item as well, Aura won that first track, but then Potential was able to find the comeback and bring us to an ace match.
Yes, they were up 3-0 in speed, and then in item mode, they were even up 2-1, so they had 2 chances to close it out, but it went to an ace match. Aura, with their victory, able to keep their tournament hopes alive here as we look at the standings. Songnam Rocks, Live Sandbox, Kwangdong Freaks, all but assuredly heading to the postseason right now. My eyes really on Sensation and Aura for that final 4th spot. Sensation right now, round differential, keep in mind, that is a tie-breaking factor. So with +6 points on that side, Aura really going to be feeling the pressure the next few matches.
Yeah, and this is the results locked in for our solo match of round of 16 winners. It's JiMin, DDING, World Spear moving on once again. And of course, you will still be able to see your players Cool, Luning, Hero, and NEAL participate in the round of 16 final match.
Yeah, and that losers match, of course, those top 4 will advance to play against those racers that were defeated today in the solos, just as you said. So should be very exciting. A lot of legends also. I mean, Jung in KDL Preseason 1 just absolutely making, you know, a storybook finish for R.O.16 Esports, winning ace match after ace match. I can't wait to see him tomorrow in the round of 16 losers, as we have some headliner performances too. Sensation versus the Kwangdong Freaks, 3rd place versus 4th place, and Songnam Rocks versus Live Sandbox, 1st place versus 2nd place. This is, in my opinion, basically a preview of what the postseason is going to be. So tomorrow, you absolutely do not want to miss this match. You know, Sunday, 6 p.m. KST, tune in. We got legends playing in the solos, and the best teams this season playing in the team matches.
Yeah, if Sensation wins this one, they're going to feel pretty good about maintaining their spot into the postseason. They need to pull it off against a giant like Kwangdong Freaks, which is tough. And Songnam Rocks, they're keeping up a undefeated streak right now. Live Sandbox trying to take that down. And then finally, we're going to end it off with the round of 16 losers match featuring many players that we've seen have so much success in solo match that you wonder why they're even in the losers match.
Yeah, but I mean, as we saw from the round of 16 winners, it is just absolutely so stacked. As even compared to KDL Preseason 1, the talent pool feels so deep here in KDL Season 2. Everyone just keeps getting better. It is so much fun to watch. And guys, thank you for joining us. We hope you had as much fun as we did on this day of the KDL. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6 p.m. KST. See you then.